In this tutorial, you'll learn how you can make ice tie-dye socks. It's easy and you end up with unique socks that are all your own. Hi, welcome to Fun Sock Creations. My name is Anna and I'm so glad that you're here. This is the perfect project. The socks turn out great, but also you can learn some scientific principles about color and water. So let's get started. You'll need these supplies for your project. You can grab your white socks by going to funsockcity.com. Then just search white socks and these will pop up. Prepare your surface for dyeing. I just used a plastic tray with a cooling rack set inside of it. Get your dyes ready. I'll be using red and orange as well as blue and violet on the other sock. And I like to have 1 spoon for each individual dye so I'm not mixing any of the dyes. Prepare your socks according to the dye directions. Once you've prepared your socks, put them on the cooling rack. I just crumpled mine up, but you can fold them and rubber band them, do whatever you'd like in whatever pattern. Also make sure that you separate them enough so that the dyes don't cross over in an undesirable way. Next, layer the ice onto the socks. I used a combination of large chunks of ice as well as some shaved ice that I ground up in my blender. You could also use snow, you could use pebble ice. The larger your ice, the longer it will take for it to melt and for the effect to take place. Then lightly sprinkle the dye across the ice. I used colors that would look good when they blend together. You don't need a lot of dye, so do it pretty light and just do a random pattern. The melting ice really helps to distribute the dye in an interesting way, but do realize that wherever the dye does not touch, it will still be white. But even though you're only putting it on this top surface, it will distribute to most of the fabric through that melting. Then you don't need to do anything special, just let the ice melt. After 4 to 6 hours, it should be ready. If there are a few large chunks, that's okay if it looks like the dye has mostly soaked through. Then wash the dye according to the directions. I wash mine in the sink in cold water until the water runs clear, and then I wash them in my washing machine. Then you can dry them and rock them in style. If you're doing this with kids, you could ask them about the differing colors that they find in the end product and how the colors even got to the socks when they didn't actually put the dye onto the sock itself, but rather on the ice or onto the snow. Or any other interesting thoughts that you or they may come up with. I hope you have a great time with this. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.